Water is strange. Of all the elements on Earth, water is the most prevalent and perhaps the strangest. It is the only substance that naturally occurs in at least three forms: gas, liquid, and solid. Michael Pollack has hypothesized a fourth state of water. You can check that out. It is the only liquid whose density decreases when cooled. It contains properties of capillary action and surface tension that allow it to rise upwards in trees and plants, defying gravity. Japanese researcher Dr. Masaru Emoto has demonstrated with his experiments that water changes its molecular structure in response to thought. In his book, Hidden Messages in Water, he shows photos of ice crystals formed from water exposed to people's focused thoughts. The ones exposed to positive words like love gelled into bright, symmetrical crystals, and the ones exposed to negative words like fool or hate conglomerated into asymmetrical masses. His work has been replicated by others who compared holy water that was blessed or prayed over to regular water. These experiments had the same results. The blessed water crystallized symmetrically into beautiful snowflake-like shapes, whereas the regular water did not. Water is sensitive that way. Claims do not come much more controversial than the idea that water might retain a memory of substances once dissolved in it. Although the notion is central to the widespread practice of homeopathy, it is generally ridiculed by conservative mainstream scientists. One of the most prominent advocates of this idea of water memory is a man named Jacques Benveniste, a French immunologist. His team at the French National Institute of Health demonstrated that human basophils, these are white blood cells, responded to dilute solutions of antibodies with the same dismantling response as to the original 100% antibody solution. In his paper, published in the highly reputable science journal Nature, Benveniste reasoned that the consistent antibody effect, even with drastic levels of dilution, pointed to a transmission of biological information via some molecular organization going on in water. An article in the journal Physica confirmed via other experiments that in fact the molecular organization of regular water and homeopathically diluted solutions were different, although scientifically they are both just water. The medical world was confounded by Benveniste's conclusions. How, they asked, can a biological system respond to an antigen when no molecules of it can be detected in solution? It goes against the accepted lock and key principle, which states that molecules must be in contact and structurally match before information can be exchanged. Such thinking has dominated the biological sciences for more than 4 decades and is itself rooted in the views of 17th century French philosopher René Descartes. The idea of water memory at the heart of homeopathy states that no matter what level a substance is diluted in water, even to the degree where there is no longer a measurable quantity of that substance remaining in the water it was immersed in retains the properties of that substance. The hint or essence of that substance, as carried purely by the memory of water, delivers the therapeutic effects in a way that massive quantities of that substance could not. Water is the harbinger of essence messages. Less is more. The idea of water memory rocks our 17th century mindset, but that's not all. Although challenged every step of the way by conventional scientists, Benveniste took his research even further. Are you ready for this? He developed a method of deriving an audible signature from his massively diluted antibody solutions, and then transmitted this frequency over the phone or over the internet to untreated, quote, regular water. That water then exposed to basophils in a distant location from the original experiment, had the same antibody effect. Water, evidently, not only retains memory of everything ever immersed within it, but can transfer that information to other water without even having to be in physical contact with that new water. Now, that rocks even our regular 21st century mindset and joins the ranks of quantum physics. The Earth itself, covered over 70% by water, lives by a dynamic water cycle, from ocean to sky via evaporation, from sky to ground via condensation, from ground to ocean via gravity and flow. All plants and animals depend on this water cycle, as does the atmosphere itself. Water is the Earth's blood. Now let's look at the human body. Built out of a myriad of elements, with water as clearly its most important nutrient and most abundant substance. It measures up to 60% water by volume. The brain is composed 70% water. The lungs are nearly 90% water. Lean muscle tissue contains about 75% water by weight. Body fat contains 10% water, and bone has 22% water. Each day, humans must replace 2.4 liters of water, some through drinking and the rest taken in from the foods eaten. Body water is distributed in precise proportions and with a delicate balance. Our skin, for example, requires a constant state of hydration from the inside to maintain its healthy integrity. But if submerged in water too long, skin from the outside, mere millimeters away from the inside, will lose its integrity and break down. Blood, which helps digest our food, transport waste, and control body temperature, is 83% water. It flows within a closed hydraulic system of vessels, which must remain separated from fluid-filled cells via millimeter-thin cellular membranes, or else edema, massive fluid shifts, or even congestive heart failure can result. The body must maintain a dynamic relationship with its own water, continually segmenting it to keep it from stagnating or from dangerously intermingling. Too much or too little in the right or wrong place jeopardizes that balance. Just like for the planet, fluid in the body also has its own cycles, and the body, as a complex container, must maintain a delicate, stable, yet fluid, pun intended, compartmentalization. We humans may have evolved out of the ocean and thereby left the water element to live on land, but we carry the sea within us and are water beings nonetheless. Water is sensitive by nature and remembers everything. So are we, and so do we. We resonate to the vibrations in our environment, to the feelings in our locale, and we start imprinting experiences at a cellular level from a very early age. Water needs good vibes to crystallize properly, and so do we. Water imprints an essence memory of everything ever immersed within it, and so do we. That means at a deep level, we might be carrying imprinted memories of bad vibes, sometimes known as trauma, that in the present keep us from gelling into the true being of joy and fulfillment we are meant to be. If water doesn't flow, it stagnates. Same with us. If we don't receive lots of support and love from outside, especially during the formative early years of our life, and also express our innermost feelings, we tend to get stuck. When things within us don't move, we don't move forward. Emotion has the word motion at its core. Feelings need to flow in a healthy rhythm of receiving and perceiving and expressing. That's why relationship health is so important to physical health. It's all part of the same whole. To stay true to our nature is to be true to nature itself. Deep within us, we embody the qualities of water, a deep sensitivity to what is and an abiding memory of what was. Our task is to cleanse and revitalize at the deepest of levels and return to the pristine state of wholeness and health. Please raise your glass with me. Let's all drink to that.